Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Tigers Talk Rugby. Before we get started, I'd like to say that for all our listeners, we have finally gotten ourselves onto other platforms. So we are on 8 different streaming platforms at this point: Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and Spotify. So go check us out over there. Give us a follow. Give us a listen. We really appreciate it. And we're happy that we're finally on a platform that people can listen to without having to leave their Facebook app open.
Yeah, because Facebook sucked for a while.
That's true. So with that, I'm Ethan Richards.
I'm Beckett Rice.
And I'm CJ Bakel. And again, this is our first episode back from the coronavirus pandemic. And we apologize that we weren't able to find like a consistent streaming platform or being able to record. But with our first episode back, we have a great one for you. Our guest today is going to be Jack Webster, LSU, our former LSU president, and one of the newest signings for NOLA Gold. So welcome to the show, Jack.
How you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I really greatly appreciate it. You know, being one of the first signings of the signing period for NOLA too.
Yeah, no, I was really lucky. I was in contact with them before, so it was kind of planned. But
you knew it well ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think we did a mock draft, and I believe did all of us put you going to NOLA? I believe all of us did.
Every single one of us had you going to NOLA in the mock draft.
I think
it
was like the first or second pick of the second round is where I had him. Had you. Whoever NOLA's pick was, it was pretty early in the second.
They had 2 first-round picks, so and they needed forward, so that was kind of unfortunate for me. But, I mean, it worked out in the end, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
they made it.
They were honest with me throughout the process, so I couldn't ask for much more. And, so I'm very happy to have signed with NOLA.
Yeah, that's awesome. So with that, let's go back a little bit with some of your history with the sport. So how did you get started playing rugby?
So I had actually never even touched a rugby ball until my sophomore year of college. I was playing. It was like a chain of getting recruited to play weird sports. I was playing U.S. basketball, and a guy was like, "Hey, I want you to come play on my intramural football team." So I was playing intramural football with him, having a great time, and we happened to have a game on a Tuesday night, and the rugby they practice on Tuesday, Thursday nights, and I passed it, and I was like, that looks really fun. And so I just kind of watched, and the captain saw me watching. He was Cam Troxler, and then he talked to me, told me to come back, and I just came back to practice, learned it, started watching YouTube videos, and kind of fell in love with the game, you know?
Yeah.
What was
awesome.
What was your first game at LSU, and what position did you play first?
So I first played wing, you know.
Okay, that's pretty typical, right?
Yeah.
And my first ever game was actually when LSU. I started playing second semester, so I think we were playing Lindenwood. I didn't play the A side, but then I played the B side.
Okay.
That's still a tough introduction to rugby too.
Oh no, believe it or not. You can fact check me if you can. My first ever A-side appearance was when LSU played Life. 2 people got injured that were my position in the backup. So I was third string, and then I was like, yep, I'm going in. Yeah, so I played 60 minutes that game. Made a lot of mistakes.
My first start was against Lindenwood at Lindenwood in the snow, and it was terrible. I hated every single moment of that.
Yeah.
I think my first start was this last season against who was it?
Yours was against
Lindenwood.
Life.
It was. I think it was. No. It wasn't against Life. It was against Lindenwood.
Yeah.
Our Life game got canceled.
Man,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the best part of being at LSU and being an LSU rugger, I guess?
Definitely the boys, the kind of brotherhood we all had. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Because I don't know. It's just we all were just such good friends that it made it so much fun.
For sure. I know being tight with your team is it makes
Yeah.
away games real enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. We kind of got unlucky with some. We had a very young team the past 2 years. So like when we would go to like away trips, there was like a very small group that would stay, you know. But
Yeah.
still fun. It was still fun and everything.
What was your probably like favorite memory or like strangest memory or something weird that happened either away or at home or something like that?
Definitely the trips to Austin. You know, yeah, 6th Street is just a weird place. You know, like you never know what you're gonna see. You really don't.
That's
mean,
pretty cool.
anytime you go to like Texas, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you would know CJ playing A&M.
Oh, I hated playing there.
Oh, sure.
Like that.
Not a fan of college station, let me tell you.
For clarification, though, for anybody who's listening, CJ never stops bringing up playing A&M and going to the football game after and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun, but it was really hot there.
Sure.
So then after your senior year, you're like, how was the signing process like? Because after your senior year, you kind of had, like, was everything laid out well for you, or were you kind of in the blue just trying to figure out what did you want to do with in terms of like playing at the next level, or how did that go?
So I knew that I wanted to play, but I really had no way to contact any teams. Like I was like looking on like the internet and everything, and there was nothing. So when like the draft came out, I was ecstatic. You know, it was perfect. And then as soon as it probably took like a month and a half or so for like the first team to like contact me, but I think that's like that through that portal is like where the teams really got like all these players' information, all that kind of stuff, and like the video on hand, like that was awesome. But yeah, I had a few teams email me and just talk to me. I had a few Zoom meetings, and then but NOLA is right here. I was going down there to play touch on Tuesday, Thursday anyway, because I was going to play sevens with them, like I did, because I played sevens with them last year as well, like the New Orleans club rugby or whatever, like the club team down there. Yeah, so I've known and talked to Ryan Fitzgerald for like 2 years now.
So do you have any like piece of advice for kind of guy? We have a lot of listeners who, you know, are collegiate players, so they're just trying to figure out how do they get to MLR. And what would you think like would be one thing that you wish you could have done, or maybe some advice to give them to get their names out there?
So coming from like I was like the club captain and president, and I know like kind of how stuff works around the games. Invest in getting good film of your games. Because I know there's so many tries, so many great tackles, so many scores that I could have put on my highlight film, or I could have got drafted. You know, I could have like been a better prospect. But like that happened and went, and it's just like my word of mouth. You know, like there's no way I can get it back. So that's my biggest piece of advice.
As somebody who has helped with the Clemson rugby program for several years, doing film stats and all that sort of stuff as well, I will 100% support that comment. Film is really important.
Like me too, because like I'm going through a patch where I'm like trying to figure out my own film and highlight tape to send to people, and I have like it's so hard to tell, and you know you can't like if you just see like a bunch of blotches, you know.
It's good play, like there's no way like you can see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just circles everywhere. It's like, trust me, that's me.
God, that's where, what was it, 2 years ago or 3 years ago when we first got to Clemson, all the film was like done from a phone on like a little phone stand. Yeah. And I was like, this is not okay. I was like, this needs to be fixed.
Exactly, yeah. We actually have, if y'all know the YouTube channel and like social media channel called Gift Time Rugby.
No,
I don't believe I do.
I heard about this.
Yeah, he was. I think he's like a local Baton Rouge guy. I know he's played touch on them on like the Baton Rouge, not played touch, like played for the Baton Rouge team for a while. But he does our film, and he would charge us a little bit of money. But he had excellent film, and he would commentate it, come and like set up like a very professional looking stand, and like you could see the whole game. Yes,
wow.
Really with that.
Because I think for my freshman year, when we wanted to watch the LSU Clemson game, I think that was like, 2017, something like that. Like that, I remember watching it. It was pretty, like the setup looked pretty good. I don't know if
Yeah.
that was when he was there, but it was like it was a lot more professional than some other places.
I think that's exactly when he was there. Yeah. He hasn't been here the past 2 years just because we've been kind of like unorganized. But
It happens.
You know how it is.
So you kind of touched on the draft process a little bit. So what was that like? Were teams just emailing you, Zoom calling you? A lot of people in America know about the NFL draft. You know how teams will call them up, ask them, like interview them, and like have any weird interview questions. Do you have any like experiences like that?
Yeah, I mean, they would either email or text. I got some texts just out of the blue. They would be like, "Hey, I'm this person. Like, you need to go do this, 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 this." And I don't know. I got asked to do a video of me like doing like air squats and like jumping up and down, and like jumping on one foot and like doing like overhead squats.
Have you did the Macarena?
Like, yeah, and then it was just like real detailed questions about rugby. About it was like vague, but like they were looking for the right answer. They'd be like, what's important about like the center's role in the defensive line or something like that.
Just like really heavy technical questions.
Yeah, kind of. But it's still like light, like they're light questions and like they're very like kind and nice about like how they ask things. But still like they're looking for certain answers, so, and I wish I would have known that before like taking some of those phone calls. So
was there any question that particularly like stumped you? Like you heard it and you were like, I have no idea, or maybe not stumped you, but like you were like had to think about it for a second.
Definitely the like important roles, like the one I just said. That's why I know it off the top of my head.
Gotcha. You've been like running that through your head a couple times.
That one's been in the chamber for a while,
For sure.
Yeah. And it is the correct answer.
I mean, I said, to be honest.
Oh, dang, Beckett, just taking it and putting him right on the spot.
Yeah.
We don't want to make him look bad or anything.
No.
So
it's not like I'm not 100% sure on it or anything.
I just was making sure you knew it.
Yeah.
Well,
so
on the same page.
What are you like most looking forward to with the league? Is there anybody that you're particularly like looking forward to play with or play against?
I'm definitely very happy that I got to sign with NOLA Gold, because I've actually played with most of the players like in sevens last year. So like, I'm kind of boys with like most of the guys on the team already. I'm also very excited about like the academy team, and I know that we're going to be playing Atlanta, and I think like two other teams have academies. I think Dallas maybe. So I'm really excited about that. We're gonna have like official games and like, so that's exciting. It's like gonna be like not like a B side, but
yeah. Well, I mean, academy. Yeah, an academy format is really traditional around the world. So like I'm glad to see that like teams are really working hard and building up a good academy program. So it's really exciting.
Have any of the players that folks at home might know that have reached out to you been like, hey, glad to see you come to the team, like welcome you to the team?
Basically all the NOLA guys have.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to put just one. I got so many messages that day. I don't know, but like all of the NOLA guys pretty much told me, hey, like welcome to the family. Just I don't know. I'm really excited to get down there, and I feel like they're really excited for me to get down there as well.
It's awesome. So,
what are your highest aspirations in playing rugby? Is at like MLR it, or are you just going shooting for the?
I mean, no, of course, to be an Eagle, it would be my highest aspirations.
Yeah.
Like 5-year goal to be an Eagle, I guess.
That's a good way to set it. Is 5 years? That's a smart. Yeah.
The Richard McCaw from Legacy, take it step by step.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And like, to go from, you started playing your sophomore year to being an Eagle in 5 years from now, that's like huge. Because there's some guys like that's going to be awesome. And like some guys, they've been playing for a while and, they don't even have the chance to play in the MLR. So
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just still shocked that I'm signed to NOLA Gold. I mean, I never thought I would be able to play at this level or compete with them at all, but just kept working, kept grinding, and here I am.
It's awesome.
So
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then do you, outside of MLR, I'm sure you watch a lot of MLR, but do you have any other leagues that you like to watch? And if so, who would you say is like your favorite team? Or
we talked a little bit before, but I started watching rugby so late, so I don't really have any teams that I'm like dead set on. But I definitely like watching the Hurricanes. I like Bud and Bear, so I guess I like the Blues this year. Overall bandwagon. I have no ties.
have you been keeping up with Super Rugby as of this last couple weeks?
Yeah, I have. Yep, I haven't watched the full games, but I've been watching the YouTube highlights.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Well, I've been watching them.
All three of us have.
They're on ESPN Plus, so
they're also on ESPN 2.
Oh yeah, they play live on ESPN 2.
Yeah.
So granted,
is it in like the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Usually it's like
and 11:30 p.m.
Oh.
So I'll like go to bed for like 2 hours, and then get up and watch it.
Yeah, that's kind of the best strategy. Or like I've become quite fond of watching the first half of a game, the 3:30 a.m. games. I'll like watch the first half and then I'll go to bed and like wake up and watch the second half.
Decent strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty late, but I mean, I whenever I don't want to catch it at 3:30 in the morning, they at least like the recordings are on ESPN Plus, so I just put them on.
So we're kind of running out of time, so we wanted to do a quick, almost like a rapid fire kind of random questions. These aren't pertaining to rugby. This is just so that some of some of the people who don't normally listen to or watch rugby, they kind of have some funny to get out of this. So try to answer these the best you can. And Becky, you're going to ask the first one since this is your question for him.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So if you were a cupcake, what type of cupcake would you be?
Probably a strawberry cupcake.
Solid choice.
That's a solid choice. All right. As an LSU student, is Popeyes really considered Cajun food?
I feel like Canes would be more Cajun food than Popeyes.
Oh.
Really?
Okay.
Okay, you got to explain yourself on that one a little bit.
That's a hot take. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I like Canes way more than Popeyes. I guess that's at the root of my argument.
Fair.
Instead of Canes night, it's Cajun night.
And then who would win in an arm wrestling match, Joe Burrow or Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, Joe Burrow all the way. Trevor Lawrence is skinny.
And you haven't seen him, though. You haven't seen him recently.
No hesitation.
And that guy's
like
huge
those long
now.
arms give him an advantage, man.
I mean, did you see that golf clip of Trevor Lawrence hitting driver and the head just going flying? Oh. And then
the last one, Xbox, PlayStation. Are you one of those like PC elitists?
Xbox. I'm Xbox.
Oh yeah,
fire! Love to hear it.
Yeah,
love to hear it. Any particular games?
Yeah.
Right now, I like Fortnite and then Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone.
Warzone with the boys. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, so that wraps up our last little, lightning questions. So, and thus this episode and interview. So, we'd like to say thank you for coming on.
No, yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It was great to be here. Great talking with you guys.
Yeah, it's awesome.
course.
So
And we'll be hopefully having a part 2 with you. That'll be coming out
next
for next week's episode. So,
All right. I guess you guys got to wait and see.
yeah.
Yep.
so again, this is Tigers Talk Rugby. Thank you everybody for listening, and have a great day. And watch some rugby as always.